Professor Ravito again, and right now we're going to take a look at how do we do statistical data. Statistics are relatively simple to do, and so using the functions from Excel, so that's what we're going to take a look at first. Now what we're going to be looking at are the statistics for the land cost. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit formulas, and then we're going to look at right here. Now this auto sum is also on the home page, but I wanted you to look at the formulas bar, so we're going to click auto sum and we're going to click sum. Now that says A8 to D14. Notice it has a dotted line around it. Obviously that is incorrect. Alright, now there's a couple ways to correct this. I'm going to show you one way on this particular row, and we'll look at the others later. You can drag the box that is around it over until it shows the correct area that you want. So now this is B8 to B12, and that's what we want. Okay, so we'll enter that into the cell. Now that's relatively simple, right? Alright, you can also, here's our auto sum, average. Okay, now this says total land cost. We're not going to use that right now, but the point here is, as long as this is in black, I can come up here and I can highlight, and again that says B8 to B12, which is what we want. Okay, so that's the average. The median, which means the one in the middle. Right, now if I click auto sum, median isn't there, is it? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to more functions, and I'm going to type in median. Right, and I'm going to click go, and there it is. Now you can't always do that because the functions are not always the same name, but in this case they are. Alright, so I'm going to click OK. Alright, now this is our function dialog box. Here's where you tell the computer, you talk to the computer, you tell the computer what it is you want to work on. Alright, so here it says B16 because it's looking at the row directly above it. That's not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this red arrow, and we're going to come over here and we're going to highlight B8 to B12 again. Once we have that done, we'll click this box over here and it drops it back down, and that's what we want. Alright, and we'll click. Notice now it gives you the information. It tells you what the middle one is. Okay, so you got to be careful with this and read the dialog box, because if you have an error, it's going to tell you right here. You don't have to enter the error into your spreadsheet. So we're going to click OK. This is the number in the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 2 are less than 259. 2 are higher than 259, and that's what makes 259,000 the median number. Okay. Alright, so the next thing then we have is we have the lowest. Now I'm going to go back over here. There we go, min. Okay, now again, it always goes to the either the information to the left or what's directly above it, and that's not correct, period. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm just going to drag down through that and fix it. Okay, come over here and I'm going to go to max, min, max, right? Okay, so again we're trying to do the max of this. That's not what we want, so we fix the range and then we click it. Right, so the highest obviously is the 2 million, and now we want to know how many loans we've made. Alright, there's two different ways to count things. There is a count, which will count numbers, and there is a count A, which would count letters. Well, we don't have any letters to count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the account numbers, because that will give us the number of loans we have. So we're going to come in here. Oh, count numbers. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to highlight from A8 through A12. And then I'm going to put it in here. And now I have 5. So our statistical summary is finished. That's why I said it's very, very easy to create statistics from a spreadsheet, because the functions are created for you. The only thing you have to do is make sure that you get the correct range into the correct function. So here we have a sum, here we have an average, here we have a median, min, max, and count. Okay. So these are the statistical functions, but there's also functions that enable you to work with date time, as you see right here. So we're going to do an easy one for the first one. And I'm going to click the down arrow here, and it gives you a list of all of the date time functions. And if you hover over it, it says returns the current date formatted as a date. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, and it doesn't have any arguments. Notice it has just today, parentheses, parentheses. You notice there a little thing came up. Well, let me delete this and we'll do it again. It comes up and it says it's volatile. Okay, formula result is volatile. That means it's going to change. So it's going to change every time the day changes. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to do date arithmetic. Date arithmetic has always been rather complicated until we got these functions to work with it. And that's because it makes it much easier. Alright, so I have payoff year. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to get the year. Alright, that's a function. Now what this does is it doesn't return the current year. It returns it in a code. And we use that code to do math. Alright, so I'm going to just type in K8 because I know that's what I need. Alright, because that's where it's going to be. The K8 is right here. That's the date it was financed. Alright, okay, and then we're going to do minus plus H8. Well, I did H9. Yeah, I can't even type. It's not working the way it says it's going to. Okay, so we're looking at 7/18/1905. Well, that doesn't look like a payoff year, does it? It doesn't. But once we format it as a number, oops, and decrease the decimals, it will say 2026. Now, if I take 2011, add 15, the year is 2026. Okay? So this particular formula may not be quite as straightforward as some of the statistical ones were, because we have to change the format. But it still makes date time math very simple. So we'll just double click that, and there we are. Alright? Now, the next thing we're going to do is look at logical functions and financial functions.
You didn't tell me, Grandma. Oh, it's falling.
Yeah, let's go, little shit. Come on, Mark. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 feet. What's the matter with you, Mikey? What? said you were off. Oh, you're doing patrol again tonight? What time are you going tonight?
Huh?
What time are you going?
About 8:45.
Did you do your quiz yet? Well, I didn't know. I just... So how late are you going to be out tonight? If you want to take that test on Thursday, get on to that. Well, I guess you can do it tomorrow.
Test am I taking anyway?
You told me it was Spanish? No, math.
Wait.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
Do you have to take it tomorrow? You better go see. Thought you said you just had to take it next week, but I won't. So like I said, we will look at logical functions, and we're going to use the second spreadsheet here in the for the hands-on exercises for 3 and 4. All right, so we're going to stop right here for right now, and then we'll pick up again in a few minutes.